Aston Martin will be moving to Honda for their engine and also for other parts of their development. Aston Martin is known very well for chassis and aerodynamics. So I think that it makes sense for Newey to go there. And they're going to give him 100,000. Also, Aston Martin got someone from Ferrari. They've gotten someone significant from Red Bull that's joining their team. The only problem is that they may go over their salary cap, and that will lose. So I think that with Mercedes, Mercedes supplies McLaren, and they supply Mercedes, and they supply some other teams. I think that Newey would not go to. He could go to McLaren, but I don't think Zach Brown is going to give Newey power in McLaren. I think McLaren already has a great team. So there were only two choices that
Yes.
there were only three choices that Newey was going to make: Ferrari or McLaren or Honda. I think the reason he won't choose Ferrari is because Ferrari has very bad management, very bad tactics. Look how they handled the Lewis Hamilton thing with Sainz and Leclerc. I don't think he has faith in Ferrari, and also Ferrari does not have a powerful engine. So now it breaks down between him
Yes, I
choosing
agree with you.
between McLaren or Aston Martin. Very close, and he'll only choose those two teams also because he has a new wife and he wants to stay in England. Those are the only two teams in England. Now, I think
Of course.
McLaren has everything in order. To bring in Newey now as a designer will mess up the unity that they have. And I think McLaren is trying to win next year because McLaren definitely is on the road to winning next year, and they don't want to mess up their balance of their team. I think Aston Martin is a long-term goal that's going to go beyond next year. Aston Martin won't do well next year, but in 2026, when they change to the hybrid engines and the powertrains, Honda and Mercedes create the most powerful engines. But Honda has money. They have tons of money. I wouldn't be surprised if you see eventually someone like Sonoda switch over and go to Honda to go to Aston Martin. So Honda has money. So Honda and Mercedes to me they have money. Red Bull has money from marketing, but not from car designing or from engines. So I think to me it makes a lot of sense for him to go to Honda, especially since they've gotten someone for Ferrari, someone from Red Bull, and they're building a new team and a new concept. So I think that it makes sense. But this is still early days because we need to do more weeks of research to find out how all of this makes sense. He's going to get 100 million over 4 years, which is enough, and he likes the challenge. And I just think that McLaren is too established. If he goes to McLaren, he's going to be an outsider. But I think Aston Martin will buy into him fully, and he'll work with Alonso to build a car. And Alonso won't see the benefits. Alonso will be like Moses. By the time Aston Martin is ready to win championships, it'll be time for Alonso to retire. But I think Alonso is grooming Lance Stroll, and they just need to find another driver to join Lance Stroll after Alonso retires. What do you think? Yeah.
Yes,
What
I
do you
agree
think?
with you. I agree with you. First of all, I think he chose Aston Martin because he wouldn't want to work with someone like Christian Horner again. Secondly, he would want to have a lot of influence.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
since you rightly mentioned that they brought in someone from Ferrari, it appears they are
And also
re-strategizing
someone from Red
and
Bull
building a
too.
new team.
Yeah. And also
Yes. So
there's a rumor that Verstappen may go to Aston Martin in 2026. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
that would be
Continue. Yeah.
fantastic
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they want Adrian Newey to build a new team, a very strong team ahead of the 2026 redesign of engines and changes. So, and I feel he would want to go to a place where he will feel influential. Like
Yeah.
one of his problems in Red Bull
Yeah, because
Honor.
McLaren is already established. I mean, they
Honor
don't
was
need
one
him.
of his problems.
Red Bull doesn't need now. McLaren doesn't need Newey.
Yes, Honor was one of his problems. So
Yeah, so I
yeah,
agree.
so and if he goes, like you rightly mentioned, if he goes to McLaren, he will not have the kind of influence he will have in Aston Martin. So it's
Yeah, yeah.
better he goes to a team like
And
Aston
also, Aston
Martin,
Martin
who
has
is
a
trying to
Honda. They have a
re-strategize and
Honda engine.
refocus.
Yeah, McLaren has a
And
Mercedes
they have
engine.
a Honda engine. He's been
Now
working with
McLaren has
Honda
a
engines
Mercedes
in Red
engine, but
Bull.
the problem is that Mercedes will not let they won't give McLaren some of the specs they have on their own Mercedes. You get my point. But Honda is fully.
Yeah,
So what I'm trying to say is the Mercedes is spread out too much, and they're going to make sure that even though they supply engines
yeah.
to they're not McLaren won't have the engine integration that
Yes, but in
Mercedes has.
terms of in terms of pure engine power, it appears Mercedes-Benz is the best right now.
Yeah, but
In
here's the
terms of
problem.
pure engine power,
But here's the
Mercedes-Benz
issue.
appears to be the
But here's the
strongest.
issue. Mercedes understands the power of his engine, and it will know how to integrate it with their car. Now, when they give the engine to McLaren, they won't tell McLaren how to integrate it with theirs. Do you get my point? Whereas with Honda, Honda is slightly less powerful than Mercedes, but at least with Honda and Aston Martin, the technology people at Honda will give Aston Martin some insights on how to integrate it with their chassis. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that if you're getting a Mercedes, if Mercedes gives you a gift, if they give McLaren their engine, trust me, they're keeping some secret from McLaren about that engine because they want to save it for Mercedes. Do you get my point? But Honda is only one team. No, Honda only has one superior team that they supply, and that's Aston Martin. So Honda is going to put not only their engine, they're going to give Aston
Aston
Martin
Martin, okay.
insights on the engine and on how to integrate it with the chassis. And before we know it, Honda may even be developing the chassis for Aston Martin. So Aston Martin and Honda are now in a beautiful union. And now it's Honda versus Mercedes. I don't know what's going to happen to Red Bull. I don't know. All right, Afolabi, take us out. Very good show today. Yeah.
Okay, so it's been a wonderful session. We started off with the race to the White House. We switched to Adrian Newey and discussed the impending departure and arrival at Aston Martin. We'll continue this discussion when we have enough information about what exactly
Yeah,
we'll be
this is
doing
the
in
first part of
Aston
a,
Martin.
we're going to be
Mustafa,
doing
thank
this
you very
every week
much.
now. Every week. Yeah. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Please like
So
and
thank you very
subscribe
much
to.
for your time, Mustafa. It's been wonderful. Like, share, and subscribe to Formula One, Fanatics, and Global Politics.
Thank you. Good night. Okay.
Yeah.